Greetings gastronauts, this is KeefCooks, I'm Keef, and today I'm not cooking because I've got a stinking cold. So what I'm going to do instead is have a little rant. Won't that be fun? Okay, maybe not a rant, but I'm going to talk to you about YouTube's new demonetization policy or demonization policy and censorship and the Disneyfication of YouTube. Before I start, I'll just clarify what is meant by monetization. It's very simple. It's the creator telling YouTube that you want ads on your videos and specifying what kind of ads, and sometimes if the video is more than 10 minutes long, you can have more than one set of ads at times that you specify. So that's monetization. And demonetization is just the opposite. It is YouTube saying, we're not going to show ads on that nasty video because the advertisers are a bit delicate and they won't like it. This all started about 6 months ago with a thing called the adpocalypse, where a lot of advertisers, all the big ones in fact, ganged together on YouTube and said, well, they weren't happy at all that their adverts were being shown on terrorist recruitment videos, and you know, quite right. I wouldn't like that. They'd complain to YouTube, and YouTube, as usual, didn't out. So the advertisers pulled the plug. They pulled all their advertising overnight. So YouTube's revenues dropped, totally disappeared, and that means so did mine and all the other creators. It just tanked completely. So YouTube got into a bit of a tizzy and started to demonetize all of the obvious terror-related and hate speech sites. But then it seemed they got, you know, a kind of taste for it, and they started demonetizing other channels that were not in any way, shape or form terrorist-related. There were a lot of homesteading and self-sufficiency channels that just got wiped out. All of their videos got demonetized because they would feature things like hunting, shooting, fishing and, you know, nature red in tooth and claw. Nature is naturally a bit brutal, very brutal in fact, and it's not the way that Disney would have you believe. So the adpocalypse came and went. It didn't affect me directly at all, so you know, apart from making me a bit queasy about the way that YouTube actually deals with crises, which basically is not very well, and they certainly don't communicate very well at all. Really, it's shocking. You know, when you're going to pull somebody's livelihood from underneath them with no notice, no advance warning, and you don't even tell them you've done it, that kind of sucks. Naughty word. 2 weeks ago, YouTube started behaving oddly, more oddly. I got an email from them that said they had demonetized 2 of my old videos because they didn't meet advertisers' requirements, and they told me which ones they were. It was how to pluck and clean a goose. Okay, fine, that is a gruesome video, I don't really like it. And the other one was how to make pilau rice. That's a really old one, and it only had 300 views, and I just didn't even look at it to try to work out, you know, what the problem might be. I just binned it. So that was fine, I was chilled. So I uploaded my next video, which was to do with a sauce that goes on a German sausage, and naughty word. In my control panel, I noticed that it said this video has been demonetized because it contains suggestive material, something like that. Click here to appeal. And I clicked on it and it said, your video will be reviewed when it has reached 1,000 views or more in the previous 7 days. So fortunately, you know, my videos these days will get 1,000 or 2,000 views in the first few days. So, you know, as soon as that one hit the 1,000 mark, it got reviewed, and within about an hour it was back monetized. The next one was also to do with the same kind of food item, how to make it from scratch, and that also got demonetized. But in this case it took 12 hours for them to do the manual review, during which time the video had you know, like 1,000 views that were not monetized. And that early period, when just after the first 2 days after you've uploaded a video, are absolutely critical for your earnings, because that's when you are going to get the most views. And after that, it'll either tail off, or it'll be steady, or it might go viral if you're very, very lucky. But generally, there's only that very short window, a couple of days, to get money generated. And here's YouTube, generated for the creator and for YouTube. And here's YouTube taking away that prime opportunity from themselves. What the actual F word. And then my next video, Lamingtons. Those bloody, fluffy, puffy biscuits, as Lord Lamington said, and I quote. I can only presume the offence there was bloody. I appealed that and it got overturned, you know, it got remonetized. So that's 3 videos in a row. I've no doubt whatsoever this one will get demonetized, and I seriously hope that whoever reviews it watches it and actually listens to what I'm saying, and, you know, gives it to them upstairs, because this really is not the way to deal with it, really, YouTube. You've got the process wrong. If your algorithm flags something up, then automatically have somebody look at it. Don't ban it, don't demonetize it. You're hurting yourself as much as your creators, and there's no need for it. So anyway, suggestive content. Advertisers object to suggestive content. I beg to differ. One of the most suggestive cooking shows on British TV is The Great British Bake Off. You may or may not know this current series is, for the first time, it's on a commercial channel. And advertisers have been absolutely falling over themselves to get their advertising on this show and to sponsor this show. The Bake Off is legendary for its soggy bottoms and its double entendres, and I think that's brilliant. It's also a very family-friendly thing, a double entendre. It goes straight over the heads of the kiddy-winkles, and the adults are sitting there sniggering because they get it, and nobody's hurt by it, and it's suggestive. I can make a suggestion, just forget it. Anyway, my voice is going. My next video is going to be prawn crackers. What could possibly go wrong?
And that's that. I hope you enjoyed it. Now please do the usual: likes, shares, comments, subscriptions, donations, patronage, all that good stuff. Or just some of it. And thank you for watching, and see you next time.